Hey everybody, Logan is back in the long drive. Let's jump right into it today. We are at 75 miles. We did 50 miles exactly last time. We took a few tumbles, it was crazy, but we came out mostly unscathed. We flipped down a few hills. We lost, I think, the engine once, maybe it was a radiator. But we had some good wrecks. All good fun. So, let's get back into it. Let's see what we can get done today. So one thing I want to do today, I want to ruffle some feathers. Yeah, you heard me. We're ruffling some feathers. Maybe. I don't know. The fans really seem divided on this. So obviously, Adam and I, we named our channel Tech Nerds Entertainment. We love tech, we're nerds, we're tech nerds, all that good stuff. And so one thing that he and I have always shared, and we've talked about in depth many times, is Star Trek. We both absolutely love Star Trek to death. All that being said, new Trek, starting with Discovery, has been an absolute mess. I quit Discovery after season 4. I told Adam if they made Burnham the captain, I was done. Said I have no desire to watch the show anymore if they make her the captain. She is 100% the worst choice. She has been insubordinate from the get-go, and they just promote her and continue to praise her for nothing. Not to mention that whole thing of the burn was caused because a kid screamed. Like, come on. You destroyed every single bit of dilithium in the universe because of magical kid screaming. No, that's stupid. That whole show went so far off the rails, and then they're like, and she's Spock's sister. Like, no, that's the dumbest crap I've ever seen in a Star Trek series. And that's ignoring Janeway and Tom Paris turning into freaking lizards because they went warp 10. It's dumber than that. So I was done with it. Picard was atrocious. They massacred the captain. The second season didn't even take place in space or in the future. It was a modern day woke fest. It was awful. So I'm really hoping that they're done with it. I think they said there's going to be one more season. And then Lower Decks is more like Family Guy in space with fart jokes and just idiocy running amok. I haven't watched the other one. I honestly cannot tell you what it's about other than I think there's a Federation starship abandoned in the Delta Quadrant, and Janeway, Captain Janeway, Admiral Janeway, whatever, is like a hologram teaching people how to run the ship. I don't know. I haven't watched a single episode. Don't really plan to. I have no desire. Now, with all that in mind, the new show that they've created with Anson Mount as Captain Pike, Strange New Worlds, has been absolutely phenomenal to this point. I think they're 5-6 episodes in now, and with the exception of like the third episode, it has been amazing. Now, one thing I did not care for, building. Let's take a look. Oh, there's a frame. Looks like it's a hatchback. Let's take a look, and then we'll have us asleep, and we'll keep talking about Star Trek after that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and find us a spot right here. Alright. Now, of course, they had to shove in Discovery and Michael in the first episode. I could have done without that. I was really hoping they would use this show to almost overwrite Discovery because it's just been garbage. They're not going to. It's canon. They've made a big point of saying that, the fans are not going to get what they want, that Discovery's here, it's staying, whatever. But other than that, this show has been fantastic. The acting on it is amazing. The storytelling has gone back to that classic Star Trek of serialized episodes. It's all standalone. You can watch one without having to see the 5 before it. Which, in my opinion, I know a lot of people love story arcs, especially since shows have become more bingeable. You're kind of more expected to binge a show over a week or a weekend or a month or whatever. So they cram a lot of this story that you might otherwise forget. So I get it. I don't like it, but I get why they do it. But this show has returned to that serialized format, and honestly, I think it is so much the better for it. Star Trek should be serialized, not season or series long story arcs. So returning to that, having a great cast, and just telling fun, interesting stories has really elevated the show to what I wanted and expected out of Discovery. Discovery was such a letdown in so many ways, and honestly, the fact that it got a second season, let alone third, fourth, and fifth, blows my mind. Alex Kurtzman, how he still has a job, is beyond my comprehension. After the way he destroyed Discovery and Picard, it's been atrocious. So how the dude has a job still making Star Trek or having a hand in it is mind-boggling. So now all that being said, I do really enjoy this new show. It's been fantastic. The casting, the dialogue, all of it on point. So good. This newest episode I think 6, was an absolute home run. Loved it. And then there's the weird stepchild, I want to call it, that really deserves more love than it gets, and that is the Orville. It is, without a doubt, aside from Strange New Worlds before it came out, it was hands down the best new Trek that we have gotten since Enterprise, and it's not even a Star Trek show. If you're not familiar, it's Seth MacFarlane, yes, that's Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy, American Dad, who created a sci-fi show. It sounds ludicrous, you think, oh great, Family Guy in space, but honestly that's more Lower Decks. The Orville is a love letter to Star Trek of old. It is an absolute love letter to sci-fi like The Next Generation, which has always been my favorite of the Star Trek series. And so having him create a faithful sci-fi show that's basically a giant homage to The Next Generation has been amazing. Now, season 1 had a lot of Seth's humor. It had a lot of Family Guy-esque jokes, which they really toned down in season 2. I feel like season 1, he didn't really have the producers, the network, whatever's confidence, maybe, that he was going to produce a good sci-fi show. They said Seth is known for his comedy, he's known for Family Guy, American Dad, Cleveland Show, things like that. Let's really lean into that, and we'll see if that helps. And I think they really discovered along the way that he actually made, hey, there's another building tucked off, that he made a very competent sci-fi show. And so season 2, they toned a lot of that down. And they had some really good episodes. Honestly, one of my favorites was Bortus, one of the alien characters. Him and his partner becoming addicted to nicotine and cigarettes. They didn't have them. They found them in this old 20th century Earth time capsule, and they started smoking. They became completely addicted to cigarettes, and it was absolutely amazing. So it's just a great show. And then there's an episode where the ship's computer gets infected because Bortus was watching certain materials, cough cough, wink wink, in their version of the holodeck. And absolutely hilarious. I cannot recommend the show enough if you've not seen it. It did take, I think, a 3-year hiatus from 2019 to 2022. They just started the 3rd season, I think it was last week. So it finally came back, and the first 2 episodes have been home runs, just fantastic episodes. So if this is what the whole season's going to be, we are in for a treat. So that's it. That's my feather ruffling. Just basically saying how much I despise New Trek and refuse to watch half of it. I know there are a lot of people out there who, whoa, what on earth? Who love the New Trek, who love Discovery and Enterprise, and not Enterprise, Picard, Lower Decks, all those shows, and that's fine. Watch what you want. I am absolutely not saying that if you like the show, you should quit because it isn't what I consider to be real Trek. I don't like it. I don't think it's in the spirit of Star Trek. Star Trek to me has always been optimistic for the future. It's acknowledging that humanity has had a dark past, that we've done things that we aren't proud of, but we explore, we move forward, we learn from our mistakes, and we go forward, looking to be ever better. The Star Trek we've gotten of late has been dark and grim and depressing. The Federation's destroyed. The, starship captains are bad guys. Like, I don't like that. But that's just, to me, that's not Trek. It's not that optimistic, hopeful look of the future. It's your standard dystopian sci-fi show. So having Strange New Worlds and having what the heck? There's nothing there. We hit absolutely nothing. Okay. Now we've had some weird wrecks, but that one might take the cake. Radio popped out, mirror popped off, we're bleeding, door fell off, bumper fell off, all because what? We didn't hit anything. I don't know, man. This, yeah, that was a weird wreck. Let's take a look, just to make sure. But, yep. Now look, we can't even back up. There it goes. The only thing I can figure... Oh, our trunk's messed up. So the only thing I can figure is this weird crack in the road. Maybe we hit that, and that's what caused us to kind of go haywire. Alright, so that messed up the basket. Joy. Sponge out of the way, please. Come on. Oh, for crying out loud. Come on. Alright, drop in there. Spin around. Right there. Make sure there's no rabbits coming up on me. Okay, and attach. For crying out loud. Alright, so maybe if I drop it there, pick it up, and whoop, good enough. Alright. Back in the car, and off we go. That was extremely strange. Don't know what happened. Anyway, so yeah, that's not the track that I like, that's not the track that I enjoy, and I'm glad we're returning to its roots. So that's it. That's my feather ruffling for the day. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in life. It has been another week, which, I mean, it's not been a week since I talked to you guys, since I was so late getting the last episode out. which I think was on, what was that, Wednesday, Tuesday, when I finally got that out for you. It's been crazy. But this episode will come out on Saturday as usual. Then we'll try to get back into our rhythm of putting out an episode a week. There was one time, a few months ago, where I recorded, I think it was like 3 episodes back to back. And so I was, oh, nope, okay, it's that basket. I've got to fix the basket. It's clipping through the other basket and it's causing us to jump and bump. I've got to fix that before it kills us. Alright, first off, let's get the poo out. And then we're going to take the basket and we're going to drop everything out of the basket that's getting in my bloody way. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So now with the basket emptied, I can, there we go. There's no rabbits. We're gonna take our sponge. I mean, really the sponge doesn't need to be in this one, but it's okay. We don't have anywhere else for it to really go at the moment. We're gonna put our ammo in here, which I forgot how much ammo we actually had. Now, I'm gonna say this, and it's probably going to bite me in the rear end in about 2 minutes, but we have not really seen many rabbits in a long time, which kind of, we talked about this a few weeks ago. I'm wondering if the rabbits don't spawn more and more aggressively and more near you the longer you're in a single spot. It really seems like that's the case. You can get out of your car, you can search a building, get back in it, not have a single rabbit close. But you get out, you explore, you start swapping all kinds of parts in a car, draining barrels, draining fuel tanks, whatever, and they start coming at you in droves. It's almost like the game is programmed to let you be in an area for so long before it really starts spawning in a bunch of rabbits. Now maybe that's the case, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm drawing conclusions. The human brain is great at drawing conclusions where there aren't any. But that's because the brain likes to look for similarity. It likes that kind of... Oh. Hey, what is that? What is that? What is that? That's a tree. Yep. I saw it coming. Couldn't stop it. Tried everything. Target fixation. Alright, let's fall asleep and we'll see what that is. Looks like it might just be an upside down bus. But I don't really know. Let's see. I don't think we lost. Oh, we did lose a headlight somewhere. Yep, it was right there. Okay, so yeah, that's just a flipped over bus at a outpost. Strange. Outpost, guard tower, whatever you want to call it. Very strange. Oh well. Nothing super impressive. Gonna fix this so we can look at our sexy self. There we go. Close that, and we are back on the road once again. Oh, there we go. So, yeah. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it's not. I talked about that a while back. If not, it'd be a super cool kind of way to do it. Rabbits are less aggressive. Now, I don't know game design development. That's not at all the kind of development I did when I was a programmer. I did web development and databases. So I know absolutely nothing about game development, but it seems like it would be easy enough if they have like an anger level to say that once a character is within, I don't know, a certain area for X amount of time, that their anger level increases. And then every, I don't know, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. Yep, see right there? I just said we haven't seen a rabbit, and that one came and jumped right for us. Now he did stop. I don't know if he was going to stay stopped, but he did stop. So anyway, what I was saying, to kind of set it to where every 20, 30 seconds, whatever, the character player model is within, I don't know, a certain radius, say, that their anger level increases. And that makes them spawn in more often, that makes them do more attacks, things like that. Doesn't seem like it would be that hard to do. But again, I don't do game development, never have, so take all that with a huge grain of salt. Because I can tell you from experience working in IT, people that don't know technology, they don't know how websites are designed, built, maintained, whatever. If you're an outsider, you don't know IT, whatever you think is going to be super easy to do is generally really hard. And vice versa. If you think something's going to be super hard for IT, I'm not even going to ask them to do it, it's going to be one of those things that we're like, yeah, no problem, we can have that done in 5 minutes. That just seems to be the way of the world. Now, obviously, there are some things that people think are going to be easy that are easy, and things they think are going to be super difficult that are legitimately really hard. It all just depends on the system that you're using, the code that needs to be written or changed, you know, databases that need to be changed, updated, whatever. There's a million things that go into it. And I will say this as somebody that spent my entire professional career in IT. Talk to your IT people. Don't just assume they can do something or they can't. Talk to them. See if they can. The worst we can do is say no. You know, and same thing, like if you have a problem, don't just assume that it should be fixed tomorrow because there's an issue. If you don't tell us about it, if you don't tell your IT team, they're not going to know there's a problem. You know, it's like you wake up in the morning, your air conditioner's broke, you come home from work and it's still broken. You can't be mad that the HVAC guy didn't come out and fix it when you didn't call him. They're not mind readers. We're not mind readers. You have to tell us there's a problem, and then we can try to come and fix it. It's that simple. But for some reason, people just, I guess it's that bystander effect. They think, well, I don't need to call and tell somebody there's a problem. Somebody else already has, I'm sure. So that's actually a really big issue. That's one of the things that they teach you when you're learning any kind of like emergency stuff, is to direct one person specifically to do one task. So if I know CPR and somebody collapses on the street and I'm going to begin administering CPR, I can't just yell out, call 911. Nobody's going to call 911 thinking, well, I'm sure somebody else already has. So I would need to direct one person, pick somebody out and say, you, call 911. So that one person is tasked with being told, you need to call 911 immediately. And then hopefully they do it while you're running CPR. So just don't assume that somebody else has already taken a corrective measure. Same thing if you see, you know, a traffic light go out. Don't just assume somebody else has already called and told the city. Call them. The worst they can do is say, oh yeah, well, it's already been reported, thanks. My apartment complex is right off of a city park. It has this really nice walking trail that runs along a creek, the whole city. Really, really nice thing. During the day, would not get out on it at night. That's a whole nother story. But I try to get out and I walk a couple miles every day, just, you know, to get some fresh air, get some exercise, all that good stuff. And I went out one time, and overnight, these idiots had come out with cans of spray paint and had spray painted just vulgar, stupid stuff all up and down the trail. They had defaced the walking path, they had defaced trees, benches. I mean, the kind of stuff that your tax dollars go for that really make the city a nicer place to live, and that most people, I'm sure, are happy to have their tax dollars used for. These idiots, because they just thought it was funny, took a few cans of black and white spray paint and spray painted stuff all over the trail. For no reason. It did nothing for them other than make them chuckle like idiots for a few minutes. So I get out the next day, I'm going for a walk. One day, everything's fine. They do that overnight, I come out the next day, and that's all up and down the trail. The whole area that I walk. So on the way back, I look up the number for the city, I give them a call, find the Parks and Recreation Department, call them and say, hey, I'm trying to use the walking path, here's where I am, here's what's happened. And luckily they were already aware, and they already had crews out working on it. But the woman that took my phone call honestly seemed surprised that I called. She was like, oh wow, like, thanks for calling and letting us know. Like, it's really important that people let us know if there's a problem like that. Because like I said, if nobody tells them and they don't have a crew out there doing maintenance or whatever, then, oh dang, that thing just went flying. Then they're not gonna know that there's a problem. If they don't know there's a problem, they can't fix it. And then people are gonna be mad at the city and say, well, they built this park and then they don't do any kind of maintenance on it. And sometimes that is the case. They build it because they got a grant that said they had to build a park within 2 years or whatever. So they throw up a park and wipe their hands of it and say they're done. But a good city board and department will take care of their stuff, so that's not really an issue. But I say all of that to get back to my original point. If you don't tell somebody there's a problem, they can't fix it. And there's a blue million reasons and examples that I could give of that I'm not going to go into because it's just pointless. But all that being said, just tell somebody there's a problem. Anywho, those are my rants for the day. I'm really glad you guys like to hang out and listen to me rant. Because there's some episodes that, well, they're okay. Again, 3 headlights fell out, bumper fell off, door fell off, we bled, radio's missing, and why? Nothing happened. There's nothing in the road. There are no rocks, there are no... nothing. We just slammed into absolutely nothing. So if this keeps happening, my course of action is going to be to start ditching... oh, there's the radio. Start ditching some of the baskets. The baskets can have crazy effects on the cars. So... 3, 4... so that'll be my... dang nabbit. Rabbit, I see you out there. That will be my first layer of troubleshooting, is getting rid of those baskets. Because there is nothing there. Okay, Rabbit stayed away, I think. Rabbit did not stay away. I see you. I see you. Autosave. Bumper. Alright, bumper. Okay. So yeah, I guess the first thing we'll do will be take the baskets off if this keeps happening. Because as you can see, there is nothing there. The car just slammed into nothing and stopped. That's starting to get really annoying. It's one thing if I wreck because I'm not paying attention, because I'm going 800 miles an hour. That's all fine and dandy. But when we're in the middle of the road and it just slams us to a halt, parts and pieces go flying, and we're bleeding, that annoys the crap out of me. Because it's not my fault. I didn't do it. Anyway. So yeah, like I was saying, I appreciate you guys watching, listening to me ramble and rant and rave for 30 minutes once a week. I really do appreciate it. Some of you guys have been here for a long time, so I do really appreciate that. And the ones that comment and talk to us in the comments, leave us likes, and have subscribed, greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point that I can pretty much know that some of you guys are going to comment, tell me what you thought about the episode, just check in. Dustin, of course, always there. Greatly appreciate that. So, yeah, I mean, guys, just leave me a comment, talk to me, like, we enjoy it. Adam likes it in comments on his review video. He's got another one in the works. He has been sick, though, so he's trying to get over that, but he does have a review video in the works. I don't want to say too much about it because it's not relatively new. All the big tech guys, of course, have already done their reviews of them, but he has one. He was on the waiting list super early, so when he finally got his, he was really excited, started working on a review, but of course, you know, with work and everything else, it's taken a little while, but that is coming, so hopefully it won't be too long. Oh man, this place is packed. I love it when you find these and they are just absolutely packed with stuff. Like right there, gas. Boom. Keep an eye out for rabbits. Oof. They're burning through some fuel. There's a hubcap we don't need. There's a radio we don't need. Here's some food. We are a smidge hungry. What are you? You're oil. Do we need engine oil? I have not checked the oil in the radiator in quite a while. I need about 1 liter of oil. Fuel tank. Water reservoir is fine. Here's some spray. I know this bottle is empty, so we'll replace that one with this. Come on, drop. There you go. Keep an eye out for Wesley weapons. There's a door. There's a rusty radiator. There's a barrel. What's in it? Anything useful? Hopefully gas. Toilet. Empty. Food. There's another bottle of spray. Ooh, it's got 12 sprays. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. See, that one only has 9. Whoop. And then we're gonna put this one in slot number. Come in. Oh, for crying out loud! Come on, get in there. Slot number 1. There we go. That one only has 10. So we'll take that. There we go. I thought all of those were full, to be honest with you. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. There's an engine we don't need. There's a pallet. I do wish there was some way for us to attach the pallets, like to the cars, to the trucks, whatever, and use them to hold extra stuff, kind of like how the baskets function. Anything that you latch or drop onto a pallet kind of becomes locked. Maybe like you see ratchet straps come across it or something. I don't know. Just to give you an indication that it's latched down. I think that would be kind of cool. There's a bunch of flipping diesel. We don't need any diesel. Not planning on switching for diesel at any point. Usually if I am considering switching, I'll carry a bunch of diesel, just 20-30 liters. So here's a door. It's got a tinted window. Alright, so what are the chances this has the white stripe? So we do have a brush. I want to find out, because I want to show you guys what that stripe looks like. Because if I can find the whole car, we are switching. Oh, I think this might actually be the white stripe. I can't tell. It's still very rusty. There's a brushy brush. Alright, so I want to do this really quick and then get out. Yes, that is a white stripe. Okay, so let's have us asleep. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, I really want to find a tinted white striped Christine, because red with that white stripe looks, oh, I saw that rabbit. See that white stripe? That looks so good. So good. But yes, once we find one, we're definitely swapping for it. Tinted windows or not, we can always find another one, hopefully later on that has tinted windows. Let's get out of here. We've been here a while. I saw a rabbit, and I do not trust it in the slightest. Alright. So, let's see. We went 35 miles? So that's about, what, 40 kilometers or so? Not terrible, not terrible. It's probably been about 35 minutes. Tell you what, let's go to about 115, 120. That'll get us close to about 50 kilometers. Which, originally when we set out, we said we were going to go for like half an hour, 45 minutes, or about 50 kilometers, kind of whatever happens in that range. And so, I think we usually do pretty decent on time. I usually am able to make sure that these come in around half an hour to 45 minutes. I try not to make them any longer than that because... Oh, nope, 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 nope. There it goes. Yep. There went something. Stop. Stop. Thank you. But yes, I try to not make them any longer than that. Just because at that point it becomes tedious. Now maybe for some kind of like special episode or something, we'll do like an hour-long episode or something. I don't know, maybe like for episode 50, go a little bit longer, something like that. But just for our general everyday episode, we're only going to go for about... I think that's a slab of meat that flung out. We're only going to go for about 35-40 minutes. Yeah, that looks like a slab of meat. And I'm running into the desert, not the best idea. Alright, let's see. Alright, so... I'm not even going to worry about that. We ate it, we took us a poo. We're going to swing it around. Alright. So yeah, I saw that coming. That was atrocious. Ooh, Devil Road. And that's a bad one. Look at that. And then, bump. Ooh, that was real bad. I don't know what's up with this crazy terrain falling through the ground. Which, I've got the draw distance turned pretty high up. And it does not seem to be going out where it should. I don't know, it's probably just the way this game's designed. I know the devs said that they made a change a while back to try to make loading of assets and things easier and less intensive. Something about how they're, I think, like two-dimensional sprites or something until you get so close, and then it will load in the actual building. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so we got a pretty steep hill. It's always funny, like you can never really tell. I mean, like from here, you would just think you're on a flat road. Because we can't feel that it's gravity's trying to pull us backwards, but you turn this way and you can really see it. Wow, okay, that was a hill. I will say, you can go so much faster up hills in this car with this V8 than you can anything else. I absolutely love it for those big hills. Honestly, a seed that was nothing but one gigantic hill in this thing would not be terrible, just because of how fast we can go in it. Ooh, what is that? A diner. Ooh. Alright, so we are at 114 miles. We are, what is that, 40 miles in? 25, 35, 40, yeah. So we are 40 miles into this trip, and I think... No, actually, hang on. I want to do one thing really fast, just to see if we get lucky. Are we... No. We are not. Alright, so we're going to circle back around here. So what I was hoping was one of these with the white stripe would spawn in. So we're actually going to swing back right around here. And we are going to call this episode done, I think. We're probably sitting about 40 minutes or so. So we're going to call this one. Next time we will start out by exploring the diner. We'll see what it's got for us, and we will continue on. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. As always, I am Logan. I appreciate it so much. I will see you next time.